Hey guys. Okay, so what I want to talk to you about is what you are going to be working on the rest of class. Now, you accomplished your bell work, you wrote your writer's prompt about your family to kind of get you thinking about that kind of stuff, and then you went through and you spent some time with our fragments and run-ons and all those kind of clauses stuff. The other thing I want to make sure that you hear from me too is make sure that you turn in your mystery poem handout and your similes, metaphors, personification, writing stuff that you did. So today before you leave, you turn in your grammar stuff, you turn in your figurative writing and mystery poem sheet from last class. Make sure those two things are in the bin. What I'm about to talk to you about is going to be what you need to turn in Friday. This is due Friday. And just so you know, you probably are going to have 10-15 minutes to kind of finish this up. But I don't know about you. Sometimes when I think about my writings, it doesn't do best in a frantic last minute situation. So be thinking about that. Really, your class time today is for you to kind of get in the zone and try to imitate and mimic this style and complete one of these things. So here we go. This is our kind of gateway into poetry. We remember that we read Sandra Cisneros, Her Four Skinny Trees, and then you guys did a emulation of that style in the very beginning of the year with our narrative unit. And we talked about how can you creatively write about yourself. And Sandra Cisneros was Four Skinny Trees, but what are you? So I want you to think back on that for a moment because you guys were really, really good at that. And that was one of those pieces that so many of you were very proud of. We are going to stand on the shoulders of people who do this better and kind of gateway and safely step into poetry doing something that we're familiar with that you already feel confident about. That's kind of the idea today. So we're going to look at another piece by Sandra Cisneros. It's called Hairs. And what I want you to do with this piece, very similar to Four Skinny Trees, I want you to emulate her style. You will find when you read this piece, she has great description of her family. She has found something that everybody has in common, which kind of goes back to our bell work today of what to think about. She has something that everybody has in common, but it's all very different and it's very unique. And when we talk about analyzing and appreciating poetry or appreciating even writing, what I want you guys to think about is how is Sandra Cisneros talking about her family differently? And at the end of this piece, is she really just talking about her family? No, it's so much deeper. It's about this relationship she has with her mother. So, how can you think about your family, find a common ground, and then write on that differently so everybody can have something in common but very unique? And then I want you to kind of try to build it into something deeper, where Cisneros takes her writing about hair and her family's hair and how all of her siblings and her mom and dad's hair is different, and builds it into this beautiful image of her and her mother and the relationship that they have. When I think about you guys and you're writing of Four Skinny Trees and you standing on the shoulders of her style and you mimicking her sentences and thinking about her imagery, you guys did a very good job at that because you were thinking about you. And you were able to say, okay, I am a what? And you interpreted your symbolism of what are you, how can you incorporate that into your writing. In Hairs, what I want you to do is mimic her style. She has crazy similes. Look at all of her stuff. Papa's hair is like a broom all up in the air, and me, my hair is lazy, metaphors. So I want you to think about the visual way that she describes her commonality with her family. I also want you to think about how can you creatively write about your relationship with other people. Like I said, this is our gateway into poetry. So you could do Four Skinny Trees about yourself. How do you write figuratively and beautifully and mimic a style off of somebody else? How do we talk about other people in poetry? Because this is, I keep saying it, it's our gateway piece. On Friday, I'm just going to throw you into the terrible, crazy, exciting, and terrifying world of poetry. And you are going to be writing huge poems about huge things. So I want you to think about how can I first start writing about others that I know and I'm comfortable with, and we have complicated relationships, and I can kind of mimic that Cisneros style. Your emulation of Hairs is due Friday. I will give you 10 minutes of writer's notebook time to kind of finalize everything. But again, maybe that's not the time to frantically try to put together and think of this. Brainstorm today. Put your headphones in. Go into a zone and write, 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 write. You get it done before class is over. Turn it in for early points. As always, you can email it to me. Same rules apply. But I want you to figuratively mimic Cisneros' style about people that you know. Okay? Okay. Guys, I, just so you know, am going to be around that afternoon. I'm over at Belle Prairie this morning, but this afternoon I will be around Staley. I'm doing some shadowing there today. So if you are desperate and absolutely so terribly confused about what to do, email me. I'll be around, and we can try to catch up with each other at some point in the afternoon if you are needing great help. But I think you guys can totally do this. Friday, we will go over our fragment worksheet. Friday, we will talk about your pieces, and we will really look at how to annotate classic poetry and then how to build off of classics. So get excited. Friday, I'm really going to freak you out. This is friendly compared to what we're going to have to do. So enjoy that today. Be good for the substitute and write, 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 write.